Welcome. I'm going to show you how to edit the 3 Cupcake Mockup in Photoshop. So first we're going to be doing a lot in this handy layers panel here. So if you don't see the layers panel, go to Window, Layers to bring it up. And then to insert your design on one of the toppers, you just want to click the arrow next to any of the cupcakes in the layers panel to expand the layer group. And then click the arrow next to topper to expand that. And then you just want to double click the thumbnail icon in the design dash layer. That's going to open up a smart object where you can copy and paste your design. And then just go to File, Open, and find your design. Then we'll go to Select All, then Edit, Copy, and click back on the Smart Object tab, and go to Edit, Paste. Now it might not be exactly the right size, so you might want to resize it. So if you need to do that, go to Edit, Free Transform. In newer versions of Photoshop, you can just click and drag any of the 4 corners and that'll resize it. In older versions you used to have to hold down the Shift key to keep it from getting distorted. So if it is getting distorted, just go to Edit, Undo, and then do the opposite of whatever you were just doing, whether that's holding down the Shift key or not holding it down. And then when you're done with that, just go to File, Save, to save the smart object. You can click the X to close the Smart Object tab, and you can close your original design. You see it'll put it on the topper just like that. And then to get it on the other 2 toppers, you can click the arrow next to the cupcake, then again next to the topper, then double click the thumbnail into the design dash layer. And then since you've already copied it, you can just go to Edit, Paste, and it'll paste your design. If you need to, you can free transform that. And we'll go to File, Save to save it. Then we'll close it. And we'll do the 3rd one by clicking the arrow next to the cupcake, then the topper, then double clicking the design dash layer. Then we'll go to Edit, Paste again, and then File, Save. And we'll close the smart object, and now it's on all 3. If you don't need the circle topper, you could just come in here and click the eye icon next to topper, and that'll turn the circle topper off. You can do that in all 3 cupcake layers. And then you could add your design on top of the toothpick without the topper by going to File, Open, and then finding your design. Of course, going to Select All, and then Edit, Copy, then clicking on the mockup, going to Edit, Paste. And if you need to, you can go to Edit, Free Transform, and resize it. Then to get it on the other cupcakes, you can just drag the layer with your topper to this little plus sign at the bottom of the layers panel, and it'll duplicate it. Or you can just press Command G on a Mac or Control J on a PC, and that'll also duplicate it. And you can just kind of click and drag the duplicated layer into place. If you don't need the toothpicks, you can go into each cupcake layer and click the eye icon next to toothpick, and that'll turn the toothpicks off. And you can just click and drag on your topper and move it right into the cupcake. You can also change the color of the frosting. So to do that, you want to click the arrow next to the cupcake layer group to expand it. Then you want to click the arrow next to frosting. And then double click the thumbnail icon in the color dash layer. And that's going to bring up the color picker. You can just click anywhere in this rainbow slider here. And that'll change the color. And then you can click in the gradiated box to change the lightness and darkness of that color. If you know the color values, you can also enter them in any of these places, or you can enter the number right here. And if you wanted all 3 cupcakes to be the same color, you can just click in this box next to the pound sign and then drag to select the number. And then you can press Command C on a Mac or Control C on a PC to copy that number. And you can just go into the other 2 cupcakes, clicking the arrow next to cupcake and then the arrow next to frosting, and double clicking on the color dash layer. And then you just want to click in the box next to the pound sign, select the number, and press Command V to paste or Control V on a PC. And then we'll go into the 3rd cupcake, click the arrow next to the left cupcake, then the arrow next to cupcake, then the arrow next to frosting, and then double click the thumbnail in the color dash frosting layer. And then click in the box next to the pound sign and drag to select the number, and then press Command V or Control V again. And just like that, you've changed the colors on all the cupcakes. You can also add more shading to the cupcakes if you want to by clicking the eye icon next to the More Shading layer. And then you can click on the More Shading layer and make the shading lighter or darker by clicking the down arrow next to opacity and then dragging the slider to the right or the left. You can also edit the shadows underneath the cupcakes by clicking in any of the shadows under cupcake layers to expand the layer group, and then clicking any of the shadows, and then clicking the down arrow next to opacity and then dragging the slider to the left or the right again. And depending on which mock-up you purchased, you might have different backgrounds. You can just click the arrow next to backgrounds to expand that layer group. And you can click the eye icons in the backgrounds to turn them on and off. And since they're a separate layer, you could also copy and paste in your own background if you really wanted to. Then when you're done with all that, you can just save it. If you're going to use this online in a thumbnail like on Etsy, you're going to want to save a version as a JPEG. So to do that, just go to File, Save As, and then this drop-down menu next to Format, just change it from Photoshop to JPEG and click Save. You can also come back here a second time and save a layered Photoshop version. And maybe changing the names, you can save a Photoshop file for each of your designs. Please let me know if you have any questions by messaging me at melissabmockups.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you get updates to future videos. As always, this mockup and other mockups are available at melissabmockups.com. Thank you.